Hi, my name is James Spence, and this is for my communication class. We were asked to do something that would be of interest to the people, and I am bringing you Miss Tubbs, Miss Rayvon Tubbs, and we're going to give you some information on the colon. Miss Tubbs, can you first of all tell us what the colon is?
The colon is the organ in the body that is responsible for feeding all the other major organs of the body. By the food that comes in, the colon takes that food and is part of the process to digest and take the nutrients out of the food and feed it through the blood. However, if the colon is toxic, then what the blood is getting is toxicity. If there's no nutritional value, and that's because primarily the colon is stopped up or backed up from years of eating processed food, sugar, foods high in salt, things of that nature. And without good nutrition, there's no way for the body to be fed. What happens is, after years of not putting in what the body actually needs, there is what's called a mucosal lining that builds up around the outer lining of the colon wall. Mm-hmm. And once that mucosal lining is there, good nutrition cannot be assimilated into the bloodstream. It's much like the pipes in a house. The water runs good, it's hot, the water is very hot, and then after years, you don't have a plumber come in, those pipes become clogged. It's the same thing with the colon. And then you have to have assimilation in order for the colon to produce and give the body good nutrition.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your story? Give us a real brief synopsis of what happened with you and how you came to really start to gather this information.
I began this journey with my son, who had a brain tumor. He actually had cancer, and we met a wonderful lady who happened to be his teacher, and she also practiced nutrition. And she started us on a journey of how to cleanse and detox the colon. As a result, I became healthy, and I learned how to cleanse and detox my colon as well. A healthy colon is the secret to living a healthy lifestyle, and that's what I obtained as a result of learning how to achieve a healthy colon. And it's true what's said, we are what we eat. And so when you put the right things in, the body will put the right things out.
Okay. Can you kind of give us a little information about the makeup of the colon?
The makeup of the colon. There's the ascending colon, which is on the right side of the body. There is the transverse colon, which goes across, and then there's the descending colon, which goes down the left side. The ascending colon is responsible for pushing that food up, and then it goes to the left, which is the transverse, and then down the descending colon. Much of the feeding and the nutritional value that's excreted from the food that comes in, that's done in the transverse colon. Most people only have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. We should actually have 3 to 7 bowel movements a day. If you are experiencing 2 bowel movements every other day, then you are extremely impacted, and you need to cleanse and detox your colon. And once you do that, it will begin to function the way it's supposed to. Once the ascending, the transverse, and the descending colon are functioning properly, you will experience 3 to 7 bowel movements daily.
Can you give us a couple of diseases that start actually in the colon?
Yes. Colon cancer,
okay,
diverticulitis, polyps, well, this is not a disease, but if you're experiencing headaches, that's an indication that your colon needs to be cleaned. If you have a lot of food allergies, your colon needs to be cleaned. If you fibroid tumors start in the colon. So there are many, many, many diseases that come in as a result of the colon not functioning properly.
Okay. What are some of the things that people do? I know when we talk about the colon and the colon being impacted, which is basically being stopped up, a lot of people run for laxatives.
Absolutely. Now, a laxative is only going to clean the center of the colon. The colon is like a hollow tube, and it becomes impacted with food and waste, if you will. And again, the mucosal lining builds up on the outer surface of the colon. A laxative will only clean out the center of that colon. If you cleanse and actually detox the colon, then that mucosal lining is excreted from the body, as well as the entire colon being emptied out.
Okay. Now, laxatives, good or bad?
Laxatives are bad. They generally have side effects. And another thing is, the colon has what's called sweepers that is responsible for sweeping the bottom of the colon, sweeping the food out. Now, once the colon becomes impacted, those sweepers are smushed down, and they no longer can sweep out the debris that comes into the colon, and that's how it becomes impacted. Now, a laxative will not allow those sweepers to come back to life. But if you cleanse and detox, then those sweepers come alive again. You receive healthy flora into the colon, and then the sweepers come to life, and they begin to stand up and begin to sweep again.
Okay. I know we had talked at one point in time, and you told me that if the body is in proper alignment, that it actually heals itself. Can you give us a little information on that?
Absolutely. Garbage in, garbage out. When you put in good food, then you will receive good results. When you put in bad foods, then the body is going to break down over a period of time. Now, there's also assimilation. You can put good foods in, but if the colon, again, is impacted, there is no assimilation because all of the major organs are fed through the bloodstream. If, again, the mucosal lining is blocking the bloodstream, the nutrition can't pass through.
Okay. Ms. Tubbs, I really think that this information is really, 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 really important for the community. I know when you and I first met, we actually had a couple of friends who could not conceive because they had what was called prolapsed colons.
Absolutely.
And I know through proper cleansing and nutrition that those two ladies, or I should say those two families, were able to bear children. And, to see something like that happen, in this day and time without medicine, is really a phenomenal thing. And it is very interesting how our bodies are structured and actually, produce that they do heal themselves. So, Ms. Tubbs, I do thank you for your time and this information. And I think that it would be an asset to the public. And we're going to get this out there. And if people have any questions, we'll put it so that they can actually leave questions, and I will forward those questions over to you for an answer. Ms. Tubbs, once again, thank you so much for your time and this information.
You're welcome.